And in the book Asteroids, the government knows that an asteroid storm is heading to Earth. They have years to plan, and they've kept it secret. They implement something that they call the Bliss Protocol, as in ignorance is bliss, and they build some underground cities to protect their few and the fortunate, but they keep everybody, including the rest of the government, in the dark.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if something really was coming our way and going to devastate Earth, do you think our government would really tell us?
I don't think so, but you think about all these underground bases they keep building, and they're expanding. The one, like, for example, I know for a fact is expanding, but they're denying it. But I've actually seen photographs, from satellites, showing the one in North Carolina, near North Cashiers, North Carolina.
Okay.
They're expanding. There was mounds of dirt, covered, by tarps. And reliable sources I have that they are expanding this underground base. I've actually heard from other people who work for certain agencies saying the same thing, that they've been stalking these underground bases lately and enlarging them. So why would they be doing that?
I'm not surprised. Yeah, why would they do that? Just in case of nuclear war or something maybe more devastating?
Who knows? I mean, it's so much disinformation going on, as you know, on the internet and on media, that anything you read, and that's what they want. They want to confuse people. So all I can say is there something going on? Are they planning? We've been planning for wars, boy, long as I can remember. As a little kid, I was always worried about a nuclear war. I'm not so much worried about that now. I'm more worried because we have learned, because of the internet, there's things like asteroids and super volcanoes and all this stuff. It could take out a big area or all the population.
That's right. That's right. And in the book Asteroids, I actually have the government building underground cities. There's 6 underground cities in the book, connected by underground high-speed rail, and they're fully prepared to sit out an asteroid storm while the rest of us are getting decimated. So, yeah, I mean, I picked up on some of those conspiracy theories and made it a key part of the book.
And by the way, your book, I'm halfway through it. It's 500 and some pages long.
But it's a quick read.
No, it is not a quick read.
Yes, it's a long book.
Yeah, I hate to say it, to be honest with you. I get about 20 books a week from, guests coming on, because, 5 nights a week, I get a lot of books. And I'll be honest with you, I start reading the beginning, and then I read the middle, and I read the last few pages. Yours, I've been starting and actually reading, and I tell you, it's put it this way: if you only read a book on the weekends, you'll be at it for a month.
Yeah,
it's not a quick read, but it's a good read, very good read.
Well, good. I hope you enjoy it. It was quite an adventure just for me to write it, doing all the research and in the book, it's called Bridge to Nowhere. Asteroids, Bridge to Nowhere. There really is a place that's Bridge to Nowhere. There's a town in the book called Burwell, Nebraska. There really is a Burwell, Nebraska. So I spent a lot of time to put real things in real places in the book and try to make it as realistic as possible.
Oh, yeah. So what's your honest feeling? Do you think, and this is, you can, whatever you want to say, do you think there's something coming down the line that we're not being told about?
I waffle between that, yes, there's something coming that we don't know about, or the government is just incompetent and we don't have enough eyes on the sky, and we don't know. We don't know what's out there. We don't know what's coming. I mean, just this last summer, they discovered 10 more moons going around Jupiter. So now that it has 28 moons. So we don't even know things in our own solar system. The government, NASA, is spending millions and millions of dollars looking at galaxies far, far away, but we aren't even studying our own solar system. So I don't know if it's that we're not really studying it, so we'll be surprised, or in my book, the government knows, and they keep it very quiet. And it's interesting that I had to come up with this concept of because in the book it's not just one asteroid like Armageddon, it's an asteroid storm. So and the storm comes every night as the Earth rotates. The asteroids are coming from one direction. Every night there's an asteroid storm, and I had to come up with a plausible reason to have an asteroid storm bombarding Earth. So I write an article by a guy named Dr. Joe Nuth of Goddard Space Flight Center, and I contacted him with my idea that I'd written how this could happen. And he said, "Oh no, that's completely wrong. That would never happen. It's impossible. But I'll tell you what I would tell you what would do it." And so he gave me the idea and the premise. He actually helped edit it, and he proofread the whole book for creating an asteroid storm. So a NASA guy told me how it could happen, so maybe there's something to it.
Well, how could it happen?
We've all heard of black holes, and most of the time we're told black holes are at the center of galaxies, and there's these massive things. But what scientists are finding out is that black holes are not always supermassive, and they don't always necessarily stay in one place. They can move across space. You can have an interstellar black hole. And so the idea in the book is that there's an interstellar black hole that's moving across our outside our Kuiper belt, and it is moving in the opposite rotation of our solar system. Our solar system moves in a retrograde, clockwise direction, and this black hole moves in the opposite way, and so it disturbs the disturbs the orbit of many objects in the Kuiper belt, and when they lose their orbital rotation, they fall into the inner solar system. So we have hundreds of thousands of objects falling into the inner solar system and end up bombarding other planets, but also Earth.
Well, yeah, too, and they, have recently discovered, for years and years, everything I learned in college and in high school about black holes, that nothing could survive. Nothing, if it went into a black hole, it would be tore apart. That would be the end of it. Not, because now they have seen things coming out of black holes, and it has really shocked the scientists. Like, how does this do it? How is these things coming out of a black hole? Who knows? Right,
and they're not all, supermassive. Some of them, they can be smaller, but still very dense and very powerful, and they're almost invisible, because unless they've collected enough material to create an accretion disk, so some dust that's going to be reflective and whatnot around the edges, they're invisible. You can't see them. So one could be passing, by our solar system, and you wouldn't even notice it.
Yeah, we could have one right out there and not notice it either.
Yeah, I saw an article headline a week or so ago that Planet 9, the missing planet, could be a black hole. And so maybe that's why they can't find it.
I don't know. But, I've been hearing about, Planet 9 or whatever name you want to call it for years and years and years. I hate to say it. It's the same way that some of these people believe in the world is flat. Again, they believe in this Planet 9, but again, so far it hasn't materialized. Now, maybe there is a Planet 9 that comes into our solar system. It disrupts our planets, goes by Earth, and who knows, maybe it sucked the atmosphere away from Mars at one point. I don't know. But, we can all surmise this stuff, but it's interesting.
Yeah. It could be on a very, very long orbit, that we only see it, every 500 years or 1,000 years or something.
Now,
but who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, there's a couple of scientists that claim that up in the was it North Pole, James, or Antarctica? I can't remember. They're actually watching Planet 9 coming towards Earth.
Yeah, it was Antarctica. There's a certain spot there, I guess, with the right angle, they can supposedly see that. And well, that brought questions up because remember, it was like, why are all these scientists there all of a sudden in this one spot observing things?
Who knows?
Right.
Remember, James, you could go and get gas, or you could take your bike and go get your soda that you drink, right? And get hit by a bus. I mean, we can't worry about this stuff. I mean, you go crazy worrying about a asteroid hitting Earth or a black hole sucking Earth or Planet 9 coming by and zapping the Earth. I mean, every day is a crapshoot, even if you wake up.
Yep, got to live your life.
That's right. Well, the good news on planetary defense is that we will finally have the first test of a planetary defense device launching in 2021. It's a NASA project called DART, stands for Double Asteroid Redirection Test. And so it will launch in 2021, and it will head to a two-body system, an asteroid and a moonlet, Didymos and Didymoon, and so they will send this spaceship, this device, at 15,000 miles an hour and smash into the moonlet, which is about a 400-foot in diameter little moon, and then there will be an Italian CubeSat that gets released just before impact, so it can help monitor the impact. And that will be our first test of trying to smash into an asteroid and move it into a new direction. So that will be our first attempt at a planetary defense, trying to change the orbit of a small moonlet. They say it will move by less than 1%, but in its orbital rotation, it'll change it by several hours. So, it takes a lot of mass and a lot of speed and mass, whatnot, to actually move even a small moonlet. But that will be our very first test.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Now, I need you to hold on for a minute, so please don't hang up. We need to go to break for the stations. We'll be back in 3 minutes. You're listening to Mke McCoy, and you're listening to me, Gary, on Night Dreams Talk Radio.
And he drove his motorcycle that fast. He drove a big chop hog with a gang cousins jacket, and he ran down citizens for laughs. He had an old lady named Petula, packed an automatic 45 gun. They had just come up from California, where they shot 6 cops for fun.
Jake thought it was the best there was. Down the interstate he'd roar, till the day he tangled with the county sheriff. They all called 104, 104.
It was late on a Thursday evening, and Jake, he was feeling kind of mean, 'cause he'd just run out of his favorite drug, the one called amphetamine. So he sauntered up to Petula, and it said, say, baby, let's split. There's a little gas station on down the road that might be fun to hit. So they drove up to the station, and they both jumped off and takes a ride. They were up to derision at Jake's decision as they both sauntered to the inside. The attendant, he was an old man, and he didn't think it very funny. When Petula pulled out that great big gun and said,
Honey, give me all your money.
Well, the old man opened up the cash drawer, and Jake grabbed the money and ran, with Petula out the door to the big chopped hog that was parked on the center kickstand. Then they headed out for the 4-lane, and they thought it was lots of fun, with Jake and his hog, with Petula the dog, with the automatic 45 gun.
Jake thought it was the best there was. Down the interstate he'd roar, till the day he tangled with the county sheriff. They all called 104, 104.
The old man didn't think it very humorous, and he didn't like to get sass, 'cause just that morning he'd had a cup of coffee with a cop named Pendergrass. But the old man had a lot of sense, and he knew just exactly what to do. He dropped a dime in the phone till he got the dial tone, and he talked to Operator 42. Operator 42, she was the best, and she gave out the description of Jake the Mag with his gang colors jacket and Petula with the 45 gun. Now it just